Hey everybody, Erico here, and I'm gonna talk. I'm gonna talk like I always do, so be ready. There's a lot going on outside, so if you hear some noise, take it as the ambience of this video, because that's what it's gonna be. Unless I feel like I want to edit it, I probably will edit the audio of this video. However, let's talk about China. We're back again with China and some of the things that go on in their culture and how kids are going into an adult level, even though they're still kids. And it's like, these are not kids that are allowed to be kids. And over the years, we've seen these kids not playing in sandboxes, not being on the playground, not sitting at the table in their little kiddie chairs and eating with their families and just being grateful and happy and not thinking about adult problems. No. We've seen these kids behind the wheel. And you're like, behind the wheel of what? A little like Fisher Price car, a little toy kitty car. No. Adult cars. Cars where you actually have to have a key to put into the ignition. And these children have been riding. Some of them with adults. And you're still kind of like, whoa, that's still dangerous. We're talking about kids. We're talking about like 8, 11, 12-year-old kids. It's like, okay, no, that's still a problem. And then some without adults. I've seen these news stories. Mouth gaped open. So many questions. So many questions. Some, there are answers. Others are just like, I can come to the conclusion on my own. But how? Just how? So there is a core issue here. And I do believe it comes from the culture. One of the questions I still had, though, even putting that to the side, it's like, let's all do this together.
Where were the parents
when these kids were hijacking vehicles and riding around? Some of the kids didn't get far. There are other kids that went for miles and miles and miles riding. I'm like, you driving the car better than adults. You driving the car maybe better than your own parent. How? Where'd you learn how to do this? And it's baffling to me because I'm like, a car crash could happen. Something could have happened where like the car went out of control and went into a tree or just hit somebody else, went over in a ditch. And then it's like you want to be in an adult place, and then as soon as something like that happens, it's like,
Mommy, Daddy, help me. I'm sorry, where are y'all?
it's like, but once again, it's like the parents. How did this get instilled in a child to want to do something like this? So one of the most recent stories is that there's a 12-year-old that took his neighbor's car, not his parents' car, his neighbor's car, and drove on a joyride for hours. We're talking about going past toll booths as a 12-year-old kid. And people might ask, well, how did he get gas money? How did he get money to go through the tolls? You know those red lucky packs that they give out during the Chinese holiday, so everybody in the family gets one? He was using that money for the toll booths. And probably for a little bit of gas too. Just was, yay, woo! Like he probably was laid back like this, cocked all the way back, like. And finally he was caught. Miles and miles and hours later. Someone at a toll booth finally had enough common sense to be like, you look like a 12-year-old kid. And you know what's funny is that the kid tried to be slick. Talk about he had dwarfism. What the hell? And we're trying to get through the toll booth. And the person was like, you look like a kid. And that's what, that would have got me. In fact, it would have pissed me all the way off. He would have told me that, I would have yanked him by the collar out the car. Through the window. I'm like, don't play games with me. You're clearly a kid. So he was taken to the police station. His parents were contacted. They found out it wasn't even the parents' car, it was the neighbor's car. They all were contacted. They asked him, how did you even learn how to drive? And how did you get the keys to get in the car? And no adult knew anything about this. And he was like, I took it from the neighbors. I took the neighbors' keys. I have friends. We all learned how to drive in secret. What is going on right now? I'm trying to understand. Oh my God. Once again, how did this happen in secret and no parent knew about it? What were the parents doing? Like, I would have been sitting there in the police station just like... And so, of course, they blurred the child's face out and the parents' face out because it is embarrassing. And they had to tell them, like, you know, watch your kid. He could have gotten into a serious accident. He could have made someone else get into a serious accident. And for him to be so conniving to have a plan if he got caught, that says a lot. It says a lot about the people he's around, about his friends, about even his parents. I'm sure he got a beating when he got home, just from the embarrassment. I know the parents probably said, you had us looking stupid. Because it's like, in Chinese culture, there's such pressure on the kids to be greater and to do things and to think about adult decisions and what is going to happen when you become an adult at an early age, that it's so easy to go from a child's place to an adult's place. And this is one thing with me where I'm like, I feel like a child should be able to be a child no matter what. Like, at 11 and 12 and 8 years old, I thought about driving little toy cars and, you know, car toys, all of those things that used to be out where you could buy it. But I'll be honest with you, I was actually too afraid to touch an adult car because it just was so out of my realm. Like, I never thought about touching, like, the actual wheel and the actual keys and putting into ignition, because it was just like, you know, I was a kid. I didn't know anything about that. I'm just like, you know, I would see it and like, I remember being in the driver's seat, being little, and it was so much for me because I'm just like, it felt like so much responsibility to be able to even be able to operate it. And, you know, I had a child's mind because I was taught by my family to stay in a child's place. So like, even looking at Chinese culture and the pressure they put on kids and the push that they put on kids to grow up early and to work so hard, I see the benefit of it, but I also think it takes away the innocence of being a child. And it also forces children to grow up fast and feel like they need to overcompensate when they just need to be a child. So that's why we're getting like viral videos that are very cute of little kids over the years driving their toy cars, and it feels harmless on the surface.
说他就是特别喜欢观察我开车。 他经常制造这个障碍，自己就通过一次不行，可能2次，然后完成它。有的时候我觉得我都可能完成不了。比如说我可能在做饭呢、做菜，那就拿鸡蛋给弄一个什么，然后给拍一下，因为网上确实有挺多这个喜欢琳琳的这个哥哥姐姐或者叔叔阿姨啊，很喜欢他，然后我就想经常拍一些东西，然后给喜欢他的这些人去看。
But when you really look at it and like, there's still pressure from that culture and from the parents where it's like, oh, look, he's driving a little toy car and look how good he is at parallel parking. Look how good he is at driving the car. And we bought him all these cars and look how good he is. And oh, he's not even an adult and he's so good at driving these cars. And I'm going to record him and put him on social media for everybody to see. And like, oh my God, look. And it's like, you're still putting pressure on your child to be perfect. And that's really what it is. To be perfect. And it's like, children are perfect. Let the child be a child. And so we're getting these children that are feeling like they need to be behind the wheel of cars that are for adults. And then let's talk about the other issue too, like even before this one, of the little kids that magically appear in traffic. I remember seeing these videos and then looking back at them recently and just being horrified. I'm like, get the little kid. Little kid is about to be a pancake. Get the little kid, please. Please somebody get the little kid. I'm so happy there were videos. Like, these little kids are in traffic, driving these little toy bicycles and cars. And I know, like, the way that China and the traffic works, that those people were not looking at those little kids. The little kids are small. They're little tiny little kids. Those cars are big. You know, once the light changed and everything goes through, they'll run over that kid and keep on going. They probably hear a little bump, boop, boop. Be like, oh, what was that? Whatever. Keep on going. And there's so many videos of children in the street. And let's all say it together again. I'm gonna take a deep breath before I do it. Where were the parents? It's like your parents are there when they want you to do well in school and they're pounding that you have to study for weeks and weeks at a time. Where were the parents when you're in the middle of traffic about to get hit? And you seeing like the pearly gates of heaven or whatever you believe in, Buddha or whatever you believe in, right before your eyes because you about to get splatted. I was so happy that there were videos of people actually getting these kids out of traffic. Because the kids, they don't know they're kids. They're in the street and they're just like, oh, another play day. Hey, and you know, like, there's so many videos of kids being run over by cars too. But I'm happy that like people see this and they try to help the kids. And there's so many accidents that happen in China because everything there is so congested. It's so like on top of each other. The traffic, the people trying to get to where they need to go. It's so easy to get run over. And a lot of people, they are not paying attention. There's so much road rules to the dynamic of that society that adding a child to that and also having a child have the ideology in their mind that they have to be an adult early is dangerous. And I don't think that in their culture they think about it too much. They just think about results. We think about results. It's all about results. That's all we care about. It's like, meanwhile, we have these kids that are constantly doing more than what they need to, overcompensating for what they need to. I grew up still in this mindset of stay in a child's place. Be a child. When adults are talking, stay in a child's place. And I know, like, nowadays, especially, it's everywhere in the world. Like, we have children that are, like, sassing their parents out. And it's like, you can have an opinion. You can say, like, mommy, daddy, I need you to do this for me. I know, you can voice a concern or voice a want. But when it comes to you, like, sassing your parents out or, like, talking back to your parents like you're on the same level of them as like, an adult, that's where the problems come in. I will quickly be like, stay in a child's place. You're a child. Simple. It's like, stay in a child's place. You can drive the little toy cars all you want to. Play with the toy cars. Be on top of the toy car. But when you want to be an adult and you're trying to actually operate something that's for an adult, I just keep thinking of that child falling out. That's not funny, but oh my god. I keep thinking of this child falling out of the car, falling onto the street. It was a video.
This is the moment a toddler onto a busy road in China. The driver, seeming not to notice, pulled off from the junction, leaving the child in the path of the oncoming cars. Luckily, other drivers spotted the youngster and rushed to the rescue.
It's like stuff like that. It's just like, why was the child in a seatbelt? It's like, children stay children, parents do your job. Please. Because this is a mess right here. And it's something that's reoccurring. And I don't think people pay enough attention to it in China. I think it's just like a happening that keeps coming and going. And they're just like, oh, well, until like children start blowing up cars and running into each other. And then it's going to be a problem of, oh my God, the children are dead. And people that have common sense are going to be like, this has been going on the whole time. And y'all didn't do anything about it. I'm just over here, I'm processing. I'm like, I've never thought about at a young age driving an adult car. I thought about being an adult and being an adult driving an adult car. But when I was a child, I thought about toy cars and those little cars that you drove. And I really wasn't into that as a child. I'm going to be honest with you, I wasn't. I'm just, the parents would drive me where I need to go. Or like, if I could walk there with a parent, I'll walk there with a parent. I was a child. I stayed a child. I enjoyed being a child. I worried about child issues. I let the adults in my family deal with the adult issues. And I stayed a child as long as I possibly could. Because being an adult is hard. And it comes with a lot of responsibilities. That's why a lot of adults out here don't even drive. They don't even have cars. Because it's like, it comes with a responsibility. And I get it. Just be in the place that you're supposed to be. And enjoy that while you can. Because, life is going to take you out of that place eventually. And then you're going to be like, I wish I could go back to that place. And you can't. And that's life for you. So you guys, this is a lot to think about. How do you feel about this whole issue that I've talked about? Put your thoughts below. Follow my social media, mostly my Instagram. Also a blog, Needs Asian Pop Culture. The link is always down in the description box below. And remember, be real, stay real, live in the real. And I will always be back. Thank you guys for watching this video. I will see you in the next one. I love you guys. Bye.